Hey everyone, welcome to the Nostalgia Effect, the podcast where we talk about movies from our childhood through the lens of adulthood. As always,
we're adults.
Yes. As
Sometimes.
Always, I'm Amy, and we got Joe and Johnny.
It's true, I'm always Joe. Always.
I thought you were Johnny.
That's only at work day.
Yeah, that's just because people can't tell us apart.
But today we are talking about Good Burger, home of the Good Burger.
This is Amy's fault. I just want you,
Nope.
listener, to know.
Just so you know, it is on the sheet as myself and Johnny from whenever it got put on there.
You did
So-
this to me?
I don't recall, but I mean, I'll take half of the blame. I might have been drunk. I don't know.
Well,
At work?
Odds are.
I mean,
Judges say probably.
But I have a
I
talk
plead
in
the fifth.
trailers that goes with the Good Burger pre-talk.
goes with the Good Burger, so like a side.
Yeah,
Well,
it's like the
so like-
fries.
An aperitif.
Fries.
Because it really goes before.
But
What?
anyways, Joe.
What are you talking
It's
about?
an appetizer.
God.
Aperitif.
Okay, Johnny, you want to talk about the Lion King trailer that dropped today?
Oh, yes.
Sure
I don't
did.
like it.
Sure did drop.
I mean, this is gonna be really short. It's like I didn't like it.
I didn't. Well, it's just I don't know if we've mentioned the Disney remakes that have been happening. Remakes of their animated movies. They've been spitting out and making a ton of money. But I mean, a lot of people, myself included, find them to be pointless. It seems weird to be like remaking shot for shot a masterpiece of a movie.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't know. The
Well-
new trailer that dropped today, like, it shows more and it seems more interesting, but, like, the discussion that I was having with you earlier was the photorealistic CGI really takes away from the magic of the original in that you can see a lion and it looks like a lion and that's cool, but you don't get the facial expressions that you would get in a cartoon. So, like, the scene I was talking about was in the trailer they show the scene where, he steps on, Simba steps in Mufasa's footprint. And it's like a big moment, in the movie. And in the cartoon, you can see the emotion on his face. You understand, like, that symbolism there. Whereas in this new photorealistic CGI, it's just a lion.
Yeah.
It's just a lion, It's
Yeah.
a little lion,
And
a little kitty cat.
And if you
but
animated the face to do
Yeah.
what the face
It would look
in the
so
it
weird.
it
look
would
so
exactly.
weird.
It wouldn't be photorealistic anymore. It wouldn't be quote unquote live action.
Yeah.
But I feel like you miss that. Like you if the animals
get
can't
the-
express themselves with facial,
If they can express themselves,
Yeah.
yeah, then you're not going to get the same.
it doesn't hold the same weight.
Yeah.
And again, I mean the CGI is really good, but we were just looking at just stills from the animated movie.
Yeah, like
and those
comparisons.
colors and the stills themselves, the compositions, they're fucking amazing. Like there's no reason to remake this movie, although I will say, to its credit, it's got a stacked cast.
The cast
and that's
is
the only reason I'm at all interested
so
in it.
good. Like
They did.
So
I feel like
good.
they nailed casting on this one pretty great.
Yeah. Like having Donald Glover versus the guy that they had to play older Simba.
Matthew Broderick.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like that feels a lot better casting wise to me.
Yeah.
I don't know the kid who's playing young Simba.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas is still him.
I mean,
They found
honestly, he probably still has the voice.
I don't know what happened to that guy. Is he still alive? I wanna
He's
say
still
he is.
alive.
he
He's just
died
on-
tragically in a boat explosion.
Sounds about right.
Is he like 007 or something? Because I feel
No,
like that's a 007.
Because
death.
007 doesn't die.
Boom. Amy shows
Just-
that you know.
He's just the doctor and changes into a different person.
Yeah, basically. I always thought, fan theory, that 007 was like a code name that got passed
Everybody
on.
thinks that.
Yeah.
You're not original.
Yeah.
Get
And
outta here.
so then
I've only seen 0 007. Like I've seen like 0 James Bond movies, and I
Really?
know that. Yeah, I've never been a fan of James Bond.
yeah, but Casino Royale is a great place
Casino
to start.
Royale is so good.
Yeah, I don't care.
You should.
Amy, you don't care about
Everybody,
a lot of
when
things.
Amy gives you the email to contact the show, please write in and tell her how fucking wrong she is about Casino Royale and not caring.
Just tell her how wrong she is about a lot of things.
Yeah, but specifically that.
I just have like 0 want to watch a James Bond movie.
Well, how would you know if you've not seen one?
Like, when I've seen the trailers, I'm like, okay, this doesn't look like a movie that I care about seeing. Just the same way I don't care about seeing any of the X-Men movies.
She just doesn't care.
Yeah.
If I don't care about something, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to...
How do
That's
you
why I
broaden
did
your
so bad in
horizons then?
school.
She doesn't broaden horizons.
That's true. She continues to hem horizons, and she's always trying to build a wall.
Racist.
Not that kind of wall. I just build walls around my heart.
Even more racist. I don't know how, but it is.
Yeah.
And around my person, because I just have a personal space issue.
All right, let's get back to Top
Yeah.
Gun trailers.
So I am very torn on how I feel about this new.
Are you really,
Lion
though?
King.
Because the only thing that you've come at me with is that the lion is cute.
Yeah, and I
Is
like
that
the
enough
cast.
of a reason to be torn up? Like, torn
No,
in the
I'm
decision
torn
of, like,
in if I'm like, I don't know.
you're going to see it.
I'm gonna see it because it's like
Because it's a Disney movie, and you're going to see it. Because it's got cats.
Well, duh. It's got cats and a ton of cute animals. And it's got a great cast.
It's got a baboon.
Actually,
Yeah.
it's a mandrill.
Oh, God,
God,
fuck you.
Joe.
What? He is. He's a mandrill.
Does he have a red butt?
Probably.
Then it's a
He's a baboon.
baboon.
Oh, look at his face. Okay, hang on. Everybody, I'm gonna have to prove everybody wrong.
No,
once again.
we know you're right. You're not wrong. You're never wrong.
Can we just like live in a
No.
world where we don't get corrected on one thing that's
No.
so insignificant?
Look, that's a baboon. See,
Yeah, that's him.
and
Yeah,
Rafiki.
that's what
that's
Rafiki
a
looks
mandrill.
Nope.
Look at his face.
Nope.
See the coloring?
Nope.
That's a mandrill.
Nope.
like. What's they look like the exact same thing because the other one I saw,
Except
I
the
only
super colorful face.
the other one I only
They
saw
are
the side of
different
him and
animals.
the face part that I saw looked the exact same.
No, they're different animals. The baboon does not have a face like this. Rafiki's a mandrill.
He's
Okay.
a monkey. Okay.
Anyways, I'm going to see this
Yeah.
because
Because he's a mandrill and not a baboon. That's why you're going to see it, all right?
yes, just for that alone. But I am not excited for the fact that it's going to be a shot-for-shot remake. I did see Dumbo. Really hated Dumbo. But Dumbo was cute for a CGI elephant. Dumbo was very adorable. The best part of that movie.
As long as Disney keeps remaking these animated classics as CGI, as long as there's cute animals involved, you will be behind it.
I'm not behind it in any way.
I think
shape,
you're
or
going to
form.
support it.
I think what's more damning is that Dumbo came out, last week? And
2 weeks,
2 weeks ago? And nobody's talking about it anymore.
Yeah, well, it wasn't good. There was zero good things about it, and the entire animated Dumbo is in the first maybe 30 minutes, and it has.
Well, because Dumbo,
It's a very short movie. just
Dumbo
over
the
60
elephant
minutes.
is just a MacGuffin in this movie. He
Yeah.
has very little to do with the storyline besides being the thing that moves the plot forward.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's not a character like he is in the animated movie, and I think that's where the movie lost me. Because it was all about how Colin Farrell is a shitty dad, and that's the exact same part he played in Saving Mr. Banks. And I hated his part in that movie, even though it was a really great movie because Tom Hanks is Walt Disney. But, yeah, Dumbo was just, yeah. And I don't know how I feel about Aladdin, because that's my favorite animated Disney movie.
Yours too, Johnny.
It is my favorite Disney
Yeah.
movie.
So I'm a little on the fence going into that one. I know for sure, even after seeing the trailer.
Well, you know it's gonna suck.
Yeah.
I mean,
and
look at Will Smith and what he's doing to the genie, and look at what everybody else is doing to their characters.
But it also looks
And it's
like
gonna be Guy Ritchie.
it also looks like
I like Guy Ritchie movies, but
I like some of them.
yeah.
But
so,
Aladdin
it's
looks like
interesting.
it's not going to be a shot-for-shot remake as much as like The Lion King.
I mean,
is.
well, just everything we've seen from The Lion King
It-
would seem like
yeah.
it is shot for shot because there are like minor shots of like
Yeah.
like the
Them
birds.
walking on the
Yeah, the bird, like just
No,
like
everything.
yeah. I mean, pretty. That's what I'm saying is like from what we've seen, like
yeah.
it's the exact
Yeah.
same.
I mean, them doing the Hakuna Matata walk along, Simba gets more mature.
But I
thing.
mean, you would. I mean, I don't know. At least that's like. iconic,
Yeah.
in that movie. So of course it would, if they were remaking it, they would put that in somewhere. So that's the scene. Like, I'm not like tripping out that they're doing that like shot
The
for
minor
shot.
stuff.
It's the little stuff that's like, oh,
Like
you guys
the
could have done,
emotions and stuff,
yeah, just like the
I will say though, for the Aladdin one, Joe, have you seen the new the full length trailer, or are you avoiding that as well?
No, I only avoid trailers for movies that I want to see.
Okay, so you won't mind me saying this because I saw a post on Twitter, or it was a comment on Instagram or on YouTube or something.
So you saw it on the internet.
Okay, this is just the scene in the Aladdin trailer, the full length one, where they're like in the marketplace and Genie's like does this like waving magical thing and Aladdin gets pushed back.
What?
Like, because he doesn't want to talk to Jasmine, it's like something weird, and like Genie is trying to get Aladdin to go talk to Jasmine, and he like goes and like waves his fingers, and like Aladdin gets like pushed
wiggling her
backwards.
fingers at us.
It's a shot. It's a shot in the movie, but everyone's saying like, oh, this is just gonna be like Hitch, but with magic.
I'd be down with that. I love Hitch. Get the
is a
fuck
good
out of
movie.
here.
Yeah, it's very
it's
nice.
okay.
It's a nice movie.
It's got Kevin James in it, so.
So it's great.
Ultimately, I think the problem is, and this is what I saw in Beauty and the Beast, which is...
Yeah, I never saw that one.
I mean, the animated one is probably one of my favorite. It's between Beauty and the
number
Beast,
2 for
Lion
me.
King, and
I mean,
Aladdin. It's kind of a three-way
it's-
tie for me.
It's a great movie.
But the problem with that one, the problem with the Jungle Book, the problem with really all of them is that you have a really airtight story that moves brilliantly, and then to make it live action, they either add in new things or rearrange things, and it doesn't make sense. And they've done it just because they're trying sometimes not to make an exact remake, but they're only changing things because of that reason.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
they're changing it just to change it.
Yeah,
really.
and so it ends up making the movie clunkier. Like Beauty and the Beast was much clunkier. There's like some weird, like space time travel thing where we see
What?
Maurice
Yeah.
and,
Oh,
and
God,
Belle's
I
mom,
forgot
and she
about
like dies
that.
of the plague. And there's this added song called Evermore that is awful.
Oh my god, I hated that.
And then I think they also do Human Again, which is a cut song, and it was cut from the original for a reason.
Yeah, it's a
And-
bad song.
Yeah, and so especially when you look at the other songs on that soundtrack,
Yeah.
and so it's just one of those things where, that you've taken a thing and you've improved it into a disaster. And
Yeah.
and I have a feeling that that's what everything that's going to be different about Aladdin is going to be unmotivated and sort of lead to movie bloat. Just
Yeah.
like I think that either Lion King will be an exact shot-for-shot remake, or they're going to add a bunch of stuff that doesn't need to be in there.
Well, I mean, we've know that they've at least added, they have original characters that
They have
weren't in the
one
first
original character,
Well, that
and
we
they
know
changed
of.
the hyenas'
Right.
names.
one.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So
And it's just and the thing is like what we were talking about is I remember when Jungle Book came out, I was briefly excited that maybe it would be a Jungle Book that was would hew a little bit closer to the source material, which would be really cool because it is a really badass short story. And I remember with the Lion King, I was thinking like if somebody said, "Hey, remake Lion King." In my mind, Lion King is Macbeth with lions, which is also not an original thought. So basically really do Macbeth with lions and have it be like lions in, like medieval times with armor and swords, and do it kind of like the Disney Fox Robin Hood thing where it's they are anthropomorphized lions doing cool stuff, and it can still be the Lion King and it can still be that story, but it's not just
not the
animals
exact same
on the
thing.
savannah.
It would have been so fun.
I mean, it'd be bonkers, and
Yeah.
I think a lot of people would be probably pissed off, but it would
Yeah.
be different. It
Yeah.
would be a different movie.
Well, see, that's the thing about like the general public or
General public?
Fuck you, I knew it was gonna happen.
You
is
should have just said the public
I know,
or
but,
like audiences.
They want something that is
Familiar.
familiar and at the same time new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
I blame ticket prices.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, but like, movies gonna make a bunch of money. All these movies are gonna
Yeah.
make a shit ton
Beauty
of
and
money.
the Beast was
Yeah.
like the top earning movie for its I think 2016, whenever it came out, it was like one of the top earning movies of the year.
And Lion King and Aladdin are those two of the biggest Disney movies from that era.
Well, and they've got Mulan coming down.
And they got Mulan coming out.
Which I love that movie as well, and I'm just interested to see how they decide to screw that one up.
Yeah, but at least
because like, do you think that you think you're gonna get
I got nothing.
a Mushu that is gonna be as good as Eddie Murphy in that cartoon?
No.
Like the thing is
they're just gonna get Eddie Murphy back.
Yeah, they don't even have to. They could just like with James Earl Jones, they really didn't even need to recast him. Just keep the tapes from the previous recordings.
Yeah.
And I just feel like what you were saying about the animation, and everything that's great and warm and good about those movies comes from the animation, and when that gets translated into live action, it doesn't work.
Yeah,
you know, like
I agree.
Yeah.
For Dumbo, it actually only made worldwide for the first weekend 116 million.
Well, that elephant didn't fly.
No.
Yeah, but I mean, also Dumbo. When is that from? Like the 40s, 30s?
Yeah. Or late
40s.
Like, is it 1940?
Um,
I'm just saying, Dumbo isn't a movie.
It's not cashing in on the nostalgia that Lion King is. Like you were saying, I think in one of our previous episodes, that the people who are our age who have kids now who grew up with these movies are going to take their kids to these movies so they can grow up with them.
Pretty much.
Yep. So, I mean, it's nothing we can do about it.
I don't know. I think there is, guys.
You know how you can
You
help,
don't
listener?
go.
You don't go. You don't
Start a petition.
You don't make like a bunch of like negative Facebook comments. You just quietly don't go. Go see something else.
I'm gonna be in the front row, guys.
I'm gonna
Not
go
wearing
because
pants.
I
Not
can
wearing
make
pants.
money off of going to go see it. So
Wow.
She just gave us finger guns about something terrible.
I can make a whole $1.75 off of it, probably.
Won't even cover the popcorn.
Exciting. So, are we done with talking trailers?
No.
anything else?
Well, sort of. You said
I mean,
you had
I
kind
have
of a
something
segue.
that kind of segues into
Segue girl.
talking about
Segue.
Good Burger.
Yes.
So all that is coming back. We've talked about it on the podcast already. And they recently relaunched their YouTube channel, which I didn't realize they had a YouTube channel before this, but they relaunched it and they post clips like every week or so. And they posted some clips of Keenan and Kel's like best moments on the show, like top 5 best moments. And they had some really great ones. And I'm like, you know what? I'm actually laughing out loud to this. And I told you guys yesterday, I don't usually laugh out loud when I'm just like kind of by myself watching something, not in a discussion.
She doesn't emote at all.
No, she doesn't laugh at all.
I actually like laughed out. I was like, this is actually kind of funny. But at the same time, it's probably not as funny to other people. And before watching, well, actually, this is going to break the fourth wall of the podcast.
My God. Listener, cover your ears.
It's going to break the mysteriousness of the podcast is after watching Good Burger, I watched some of the Keenan and Kel TV show that I have on DVD. Because, yes, I have.
I was going to say.
I have Keenan and Kel on
surprised.
None of us is surprised.
And it's actually kind of funny still. But, again, that might just be my nostalgia talking.
Could be. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I don't recall. I don't have a fondness for all that or Keenan and Kel.
Yeah.
I remember seeing episodes. The thing actually that I most remember about Keenan and Kel, well, one, the soda bit, the orange soda.
Who loves orange soda?
And that the opening sequence, the opening like title sequence of Keenan and Kel had a cool Coolio fucking thing, and they were just like, like hanging out with Coolio, and I was like, that's cool.
They would always do like a kind of cold open type thing, the way Jerry Seinfeld always opened Seinfeld up with like a stand-up. They would always come out in front of like this red curtain, and then something would happen, and then Kel goes,
"Oh, here it goes!"
and it goes like into the Coolio song.
See, it's funny because I remember all that was on Snick, right? And it was
Snick is Sports Snick.
No, Saturday Night Nickelodeon with your big orange couch.
See, you wrong again, Amy.
We were talking about
We were talking about Snick because I was asking you why was it called Snick, and you said.
Well, that's what I was thinking because it had like all those
Sports
game
Snick.
shows on it.
And I would believe Joe because Joe.
I mean,
is usually
honestly,
right.
I would too because
I think what you're talking about is G and S, which was games and sports.
maybe
Interesting.
or Splat.
Isn't that the new thing that they're doing though?
Is it?
I'm pretty sure
I
Splat
don't
is their
know.
new, like, I don't know if it's a channel on YouTube or whatever where they were like bringing back the Hey Arnold and all
Yeah,
Maybe.
so Nickelodeon Games and Sports for Kids, which was short for Nick Gas.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it was.
I remember
Games
that.
and Sports for Kids. Whereas Snick with the big orange couch was Saturday Night Nick. And I don't remember the lineup changed, but I remember Clarissa Explains It All was the first one, and then I think All That, and then Roundhouse, and then Are You Afraid of the Dark? And Are You Afraid of the Dark was my jam, as you kids would say. I loved Are You Afraid of the Dark. And I loved Clarissa Explains It All. And I remember All That I liked. But I was always like, I got to get through this one, and I got to get to my, because I liked Roundhouse. Roundhouse was like was a variety show also, but different from, it wasn't a sketch show like All That.
It was more
one
like
of our coworkers, our friend Antonio, was in here. We were talking about that, and he and I have fond memories of Roundhouse. But
it's more like Carol Burnett show kind of thing.
No, it was more. There were comedy bits in it, but there was also a lot of like dancing and stuff. There weren't any standing sets. Like they would just wheel stuff out, kind of like a live theatrical performance. Like they would wheel things out onto the stage and then do a thing. And there was like a dad with a motorized lazy boy, and then just like a lot of dancing. And it was Roundhouse was literally like it looked like a train depot, a big round room with a bunch of tracks that could be switched.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it was
heard of that show.
It was a cool show. Anyway, so I remember like that, and then, but so All That was one that is like I enjoyed it well enough, but I also kind of I grew tired of it.
Yeah.
By the once the half hour was up, I was like, okay, I'm glad it's over.
Yeah.
And I remember Good Burger, and I remember thinking it was funny, and I remember Bag and Stag and Barry, and the one where where Kenan Thompson is in the bathtub.
Yeah.
Monsieur Escargot or something like
Pierre
that.
Escargot.
Pierre Escargot. And I remember like Lori Beth Dimberg presenting the news, and I feel like she shouted the news or something like that.
It's like something.
News for kids. I don't know.
It's like a.
I sort of remember that.
Yeah.
And it was funny because I remember, because the thing is, and I think the reason why my patience always sort of grew thin with all that was because at the time I was also watching Saturday Night Live. I'd been raised on real Saturday Night Live, even if it was a little older.
Vital information.
Yeah. Because I was raised on like classic Saturday Night Live, like the Dan Aykroyd, Gilda Radner.
You and Dan Aykroyd, is that where it started?
I love Dan Aykroyd. That is where it started. And then at the time, and then I remember watching like Wayne's World. I mean, the Mike Myers, Dana Carvey years, and then, so like I was raised on like real funny
sketch comedy,
like the best of SNL, not SNL now. And
to be fair, SNL's. I mean, it's always
it comes through waves.
Well, it's just.
I just think it's outdated now. I think it's grown completely.
Well, one of my
outdated
notes on here, but like we're not like technically getting into talking about Good Burger yet, but this is like kind of what I wanted to lead into Good Burger with this is. Kenan is the only one of the very few reasons I still watch SNL whenever it comes on live.
Well, he's the longest
running cast member
now, right?
And funnily enough, one of the cast members of All That, who is also in this, Josh Server, he plays a character in Good Burger. He was the longest running cast member on All That.
Interesting. It's funny because I remember him on All That too, because he was always like, for whatever reason, not having a shirt on. Like that would always end up being like a part of the funny bit was he'd like get caught in something and then his shirt would come off.
I think so.
Or he'd be like in his underpants.
See, I don't remember. Like I don't have.
Yeah.
I don't have. Again, I wasn't watching All That or Kenan and Kel. Like I have select. So like I remember
the Coolio thing.
I remember the Coolio thing, and I remember Good Burger, the movie when it came out.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure I saw it in theaters because I remember. I mean, Kenan and Kel was like a huge deal as a kid.
Yeah.
Like that was like the show. You know.
Yeah.
But Good Burger came out before Kenan and Kel started.
Did it?
But them as a team.
Yeah, them as a team was like that was set up from the beginning of them on All That.
Yeah. But it's funny because I just felt like not all, but most of the sketches. I guess a season
of Kenan and Kel was out.
I just always felt like most of the sketches and all that ended up being those kids just yelling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
or just doing things that kids think are funny, which are just like the yelling or falling.
Or the being stripped down to the underpants.
Yeah. or getting stuff thrown at them.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
getting messy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very much how that show is. So that kind of, I wanted to talk about that leading into Good Burger. Good Burger came out in July of 1997, and it was directed by Brian Robbins, who I don't know. I didn't look into anything he's directed.
I looked it up, and it was a lot of like nothing special.
Okay, but the one time I actually looked up the writer is because it was co-written by Dan Schneider, who created like half of the shows that I watched throughout my childhood whenever I was at my grandparents' house and could get on, like, watch cable. He created Drake and Josh, Zoe 101, The Amanda Show, all that. iCarly, which I only watched iCarly more towards the end because it came out in 2007 because Crazy Steve from Drake and Josh, Jerry Trainer, was the big brother on iCarly. He also created What I Like About You with Amanda Bynes and Jenny Garth, which was a show that I would watch all the time after school because it came on CW. And then he also created, and Joe's gonna love this, Big Fat Liar. Ugh. So, any of you guys out there who want to hear us talk about Big Fat Liar, please let me know.
Don't let her know.
Please, I want to talk about Big Fat Liar so bad.
She can talk about it. You can do it on your own time, Amy. Just to fill in for the director, he did. Good Burger was actually apparently his first directorial narrative film. He did a documentary before that called The Show. He did 5 episodes of Kenan and Kel, Sports Theater with Shaquille O'Neal, which is kind of funny. He did Hardball and
he did Varsity Blues.
Episodes. Yeah, I did a couple episodes of Birds of Prey and Norbit and Shaggy Dog and just kind of, nothing really special. But he's still doing stuff. He's like some kind of producer.
He's a producer on the new Rugrats reboot.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So anyway.
This is also starring Kenan and Kel, of course. Linda Cardellini. Shaq has a bit. Sinbad is in this for a little bit, which
The pirate or the comedian?
The comedian.
The pirate, of course.
I completely forgot that he was in this. Yeah. And Josh Server, like I said.
And the star of the movie, Abe Vigoda.
Yeah.
Abe Vigoda.
I fucking love Abe Vigoda.
He's great. He's good in all things.
He is.
But a quick synopsis of this movie is 2 dim-witted teenagers are forced to save the fast food restaurant they work at from going out of business, despite a new and improved burger joint opening across the street that wants to be top dog in the fast food industry. Sounds riveting.
And it is not.
So since we already broke the fourth wall of this, we can just go on and talk about the movie. I don't care.
Okay. Confession, dear listener. I fell asleep while watching this film. You know how when people pass out from drinking too much and it's your body's defense mechanism?
You don't know what that's about. You don't know anything.
Alcohol.
No.
Falling asleep during a movie that I'm not enjoying is my defense mechanism. I fell asleep and I remember I was starting to fight it and I was like, you know what? No. And I gave in.
I don't blame you.
It's so painfully unfunny. There's sprinkles of funny bits. There's maybe 4 funny jokes, but after you've been sitting there for so long.
Yeah.
That is the Dan Schneider brand.
Yeah.
The one of my notes
isn't he
He's the fat guy who
he plays the manager.
Yeah, I know, but isn't there
maybe he ate all the jokes.
No, but isn't he created all these shows, right? Mm-hmm. But didn't he also get in trouble for fucking
touching a child?
Yeah, doing some sort of very inappropriate things. I'm pretty sure, isn't that the reason? Something about him, that person, I'm pretty sure it's him, and Amanda Bynes, and one of the reasons why she went because he was I don't know what he did. I don't know. I remember seeing that name and seeing he created all these kids shows, and he was a pervert or something, which I'm okay, that makes sense because.
Here's an article from 2018 from Deadline. Nickelodeon parts ways with TV series producer Dan Schneider. Following many conversations, you guys vamp while I
vamp for you.
God, I hate you so much.
I mean, Johnny, did you enjoy this film? Did you enjoy your time watching it?
No,
Abusive behavior, complaints of abusive behavior. That's all it really says.
Okay.
No, we're abusive.
Yeah.
I think it's probably fine.
No, I did not enjoy this movie. It's an hour and a half, which is like the
it got
shortest
long.
movie that you
It
can make
felt
them.
long.
But it felt like 2
The opening
hours.
scene felt long.
Oh yeah, with the burgers talking
Yeah.
to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
no.
so I'm trying because I was trying to like piece things together. Like, firstly, Ed lives in a really nice house, a really nice area. Not clear that because his dad left, so it's just his mom.
No.
You're thinking of.
You're thinking of Dexter.
Oh yeah. Okay, so he's got both parents, but he's like.
Well, you don't know about
Yeah.
Ed's backstory. Like,
Yeah, you don't
except
know
for like
nothing.
one moment when they're
we
sitting
know
on the
that
roof.
Yeah.
But he says he gets to see my dad every
Yeah,
day.
Keenan
Yeah.
says like he says he doesn't remember what his dad looks like, and Kel says, "I wish I could remember what my dad looks like, but I get to see him every day."
Right.
That's like the most you get into his backstory.
And we know that he showers with his clothes on.
Yeah.
But he's not in school. We know that.
That's the thing. I was like, how is Keenan the only one that's in school still when all these other kids that look about the same age as him are working at Good Burger?
Yeah.
But they're not at this last day of school. They're working at Good Burger
All day.
all day.
It also really bothered me that they all seem to care so much about their jobs, because especially teenagers working at a fast food place, I've never seen a group of people care less about anything.
I was in my 20s
true.
working at a fast food place, and I could have cared less.
Yeah.
So it was just like, so there was that, and like Sinbad, was he the bad guy?
No.
No.
But he was treated like the
Kurt
bad
was
guy.
the
Like
bad
his,
guy.
but like his car gets crushed, and we're meant to think
Yeah.
that it's like
Well,
he had it coming.
that is another thing that it's like the Dan Schneider brand of comedy. It's just like really repetitive jokes and bits
Yeah.
that just keep happening.
Well, he was just the bad guy
Random
because he was
humor.
the teacher.
Yeah.
right.
You know.
He was based off of an actual teacher
yeah.
that Dan Schneider had, same last name, Mr. Wheat.
Yeah.
He was based off of a teacher that he had in high school.
But I love the Sinbad bits because I
Oh,
love
I
Sinbad,
did.
and so I was
it was
like,
so good.
I was like, I actually
Like-
kind of like this.
His bits and most of Kel's bits were some of the things I laughed at.
Kel,
Ed.
I hated Ed.
I couldn't stand him. I couldn't.
I get what they were trying to do because it's Nickelodeon, and it's very much what I remember about like Nickelodeon, and it's at that time like what it was it was loud,
Yeah.
and obnoxious,
Yep.
and annoying, and in
Yeah.
your face,
Yep.
and gross.
Yep.
And that's all. Like that, I fucking hated that
I
character.
couldn't like listening to him speak and say things. Like I remember thinking, yeah, this is fine, this is funny, he's very good when I was little, and watching it as a grown ass man, I just couldn't listen to it, especially everything he said ended with a
Yeah.
That was annoying. But I don't know. Maybe
But
it's
the
just
thing-
like
the thing that
I have this like. It's just so nostalgic for me that it's I'm like, because this was a treat for me to watch when I was younger, was being able to watch all that and watch the Good Burger sketches.
Was it a treat for you now?
No, but I was just like, I was remembering, it's like, I remember why I found that funny when I was younger, because it's stupid and it's dumb and it's something that I don't get to watch every day, because I get to watch PBS all day. I get to watch educational shows.
This was just one joke stretched over an hour.
Yeah,
half.
I did. And it's funny because, like, watching it, I did actually really like Keenan in it. Like his acting, he's funny. Like he has like these like little oh man, like
He reminds me a little bit of you.
That's fair.
There's a bit where when Sinbad's like, I don't want to send another black man to jail, and he's like, jail.
He's got like these really good like throwaway lines that are actually the funniest things. Like it's funny because the movie like positions itself to make like Ed is the loud, and he's funny because he's loud and he's weird and he's a moron and he's obnoxious. But the really funny stuff is just Keenan like reacting. You know?
Yeah.
Well, so when I was younger, I remember thinking at the time, because I didn't really fully get comedy, that like Kel was the star, Keenan was the straight man who just the jokes had to bounce off of him. And I remember when Kenan Thompson, which by the way, he wound up on Saturday Night Live only 6 years after this movie, which feels like kind of nuts.
Yeah, because he's
Yeah.
still a kid. He looks like a kid at
Yeah.
least. I don't know how old he actually was.
I
but
feel like I didn't realize that he was on Saturday Night Live until
That
maybe
early?
5 years ago. I mean, honestly.
That's fair.
And so to 6 years after this movie, which I remember seeing, I must have seen it in theaters, but I really don't remember. But only 6 years, a matter of 6 years, he's on SNL.
2003.
But anyway, I remember thinking at the time when I heard that he was on SNL, like, oh, the straight guy in Kenan and Kel, like the guy who didn't get all the funny bits and all the characters,
quote unquote funny bits.
Yeah, and then watching this, I fully agree. I think he is the funnier of the two.
Yeah.
And the thing is I don't think that Kel Mitchell isn't funny. I think that Ed was written so
Oh yeah, no,
one-dimensionally.
Yeah.
it's exactly that.
You know, because there's like the bit at the end when he runs through like why he blew up the Mondo Burger,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, okay, well, where was this? Why couldn't Kel be? I mean,
I guess
what-
that's
why
supposed to
couldn't-
be like the payoff joke, right? That he's
Yeah.
not dumb.
Well,
and he's
that's
actually...
like I was reading
But then
an
he's also
oral.
like, you don't want to be my partner? Is it because I'm black?
Yeah.
He's like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I was
I'm
reading an
black.
oral history of.
I did
Good
find that part
Burger.
funny.
That was funny.
Yeah.
I was reading an oral history of Good Burger.
They made an
and,
oral history of
Oh
Good
my
Burger?
god.
Yes.
And then you read it.
On what?
Complex. And they said that Kel's character of Ed was like supposed to be written as this like, oh god, where did I find?
What did
this
Kenan
is
also get
so
to say?
long.
I think I broke my ass because I have that written.
No,
down
that's
there.
Abe Vigoda.
Oh, that was
Yeah,
Abe Vigoda.
yeah, yeah.
Abe Vigoda was hilarious.
Yes,
It's
I
like-
know!
And like he takes off the mask. I should be dead.
Yeah.
Well, he was hilarious.
Well, the funny bit about that is that for the longest time, Abe
also the
Vigoda-
language.
Yeah, well, the language, yeah. But for the longest time, I mean, the joke there is that Abe Vigoda, like for the longest time before he passed away, it was always like, oh wait, is he still alive?
Yeah, yeah.
And then there was even a website that said that was like www.isabevigoda-still-alive, and it really just you just clicked on that and it would say yes, Abe Vigoda is still alive. That was just it. It was just a web page with text on it, and then when he died, like you can still go to that website.
I'm going right now.
I don't know if it's still around, but it was just like no, Abe Vigoda is not alive anymore.
Yeah, I can't find it. There's too much words on here.
Too many words.
But they were like, he was written to be kind of this like, they never used the word like stupid or moron. He was just kind of like supposed to be like
Simple.
like selectively stupid kind of thing. So
This is it. AbeVigoda.com. Abe Vigoda is dead, and there's pictures of X's over
Yeah,
his eyes.
that's it. That's
you know
the
what?
one.
And I want to believe that he would think it's funny.
Yeah, Abe Vigoda's great.
just so you know, Kenan was 25 when he got on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah. that beat me. I was 27 when I got on Saturday Night Live.
Shut up. You were never
was-
on Saturday Night Live.
He was 19 when they filmed Good Burger.
Yeah, and playing a 15-year-old.
Yeah.
Which
He did not look 15 though. Or I mean, he did not
ageless.
look 19. He looked
No.
15.
He's ageless is the thing. He's like Paul Rudd.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, and so it's like Abe Vigoda was funny, but like the small morsels, the nuggets of funny were so
they
deeply
were just-
buried in
oh,
this
God.
movie that you have to wade through like the garbage
Yeah.
masher on the detention level.
It's a garbage.
know?
Well,
It's a garbage fire.
90s humor.
Yeah. Although, speaking of 90s, I did like that the Nickelodeon logo
Was the
at the
cup?
beginning was
Yeah.
the 90s Jazz Cup. And I was
Yeah.
like, hey, 90s.
Yeah.
Hey, it's our logo.
It's our logo.
Hey,
yeah.
look at that.
And oh yeah, and I remember there's another funny Kenan bit when Kurt's like, I would be both your mother and your father. He's like, whoa, Kurt must look weird naked. You know? And did you catch the all that name drop?
Yeah.
Did it a couple times where he sees Monica, I think. No, Monique. And he's like, and he goes, "Ooh, who's
She's
that?
all that.
She's all that.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, oh, what?
Yeah.
Or something like that, I don't know.
Yeah. I will also say 20 minutes into watching it, because I was eating it while watching dinner. I was watching it while eating dinner, and Sarah was with me. And then once we finished dinner, she goes, and I quote, "I'm going to watch something else. Goodbye. I think you should stop doing the podcast."
Thanks, Sarah. I really appreciate that. One thing that I lost it. Carmen Electra.
Oh yeah,
That was weird.
Yeah,
there was so much sexual like double entendres.
Yeah.
And to the point where I was like, what the hell? In fact, I even wrote it down. What did I write? I wrote
She says she wants his sauce.
I was like, what kind of Nickelodeon kids movie has double entendre slinging objectified woman like Roxanne? Ed, what am I supposed to do? Roxanne, hello. It's
Yeah.
like, Like
Yeah.
it made me very uncomfortable.
But also, it just whatever. Carmen Electra's a grown ass woman in this universe,
yeah,
and
who seems to be
Ed-
some kind of like corporate espionage prostitute, like
yes,
for hire.
But Ed is supposed to be a teenager, right?
Yeah.
Well,
we don't really know.
but graduated from high school, so he's probably 18
did he go?
at minimum. Well, he's not in school.
But that doesn't
But-
mean.
Yeah, but then it's also like Monique, she's there too, and
Yeah.
she, I don't know, how old is she?
Yeah, but she's not like throwing herself at Dexter the same way that Carmen Electra is.
Well, yeah.
But I mean, but it's just like it's. I don't know. I was confused for a second. I was like, wait a minute, isn't this? Is he supposed to be a kid? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like there's
I
just
just don't.
Yeah, there's
know.
points in this movie where it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
And if you look on IMDb's like cast list, they usually like list them like by some kind of ranking, first build, I guess.
Well, she's uncredited in the movie. I read.
Nope, she's not. You see her name come up in the opening credit scrolls, and she is the very last person on the credit
That's funny.
list.
IMDb said she was uncredited.
IMDb's a lot.
It says
Yeah, it is.
Roxanne.
No, I mean like in the trivia.
But it's funny because speaking of the opening credits, like I saw her name on it, and I was like, oh, I don't remember her being in this movie. And then I saw the name Linda Cardellini, and I was like, I definitely don't remember her being in this
Yeah.
movie.
When I was like pulling up the cast, and I was like, I don't remember Linda Cardellini being
Yeah.
in this.
And then the whole movie, I was just like, when are we gonna get to Linda Cardellini?
Well,
Yeah.
when Carmen Electra came in at first, like I was watching it on a very shitty version of it because it's an SD only, and I was like, wait, that's not Linda Cardellini. Like when she first went, I'm like, is it? And then she gets up closer. I'm like, oh no, it's Carmen Electra. But
yeah.
I wanted them to do more with Linda Cardellini, but this is Linda Cardellini's first starring role, or not first starring role, but first like on-screen role.
Yeah, and she's just that was right when I was falling asleep. I was like, oh look, there's Linda Cardellini. Okay.
Nap time.
And I'm sure we caught Lori Beth Denberg, which was just like she sort of epitomized everything that was not funny with all that in this cameo. You know, where she loudly announces her name and then proceeds to give too much information.
Well,
And
that's Lori Beth Denberg's character.
I know, but I'm just saying, like that was
every
who does
character
that?
she ever
Who
played.
shows up? I mean, Johnny, when you go to the store, you go, "Hi, my name is Johnny Sandoval, and I am quite hungry today, so I decided to come over here for lunch."
No,
You know,
I
it's
don't
like
do
that's
that.
just
Surprisingly, I know. Right?
yeah, because I've been with you when you order food, and that's not how you do it.
I don't do it. I just demand to see the manager to get free appetizers.
Yeah. Did you guys? So neither one of you is a. Did you watch Angel?
No.
J.
I'm
August
offended
Richards?
you asked me that.
J.
Those are
August
fighting
Richards was in
words.
there. Fight me then. Do it.
Let's take this outside.
J. August Richards was in this, which was like I've never seen him so young. He is the one of Kurt's thugs. He's the tall black fella, and he was the character Gunn on Angel, named for James Gunn.
Ooh.
Yeah,
That's cool.
You know, his name
he's been in many other things too.
His
but,
name in this, although it was never
Griffin.
said, is Griffin.
Yeah.
One of the most 90s things about this was that Fruitopia that Carmen Electra was drinking at the what the fuck is that noise?
I don't know. It sounds like there's construction happening.
When they were
Or a
at the
very large cat is purring.
when they were at the mini golf place,
Mini golf, yeah.
Carmen Electra has this like Fruitopia, and I'm like, oh my god, I remember getting one of those.
What the hell's a Fruitopia?
It's like
I have no idea.
you don't know what a Fruitopia is?
No?
It's like
I've never heard
it's
of
like
that.
an orange soda beverage, and it had this like really goofy like 90s font.
I don't know. Sounds like another one of your Midwest tales.
Also, did it make sense to you that a vegetarian would work at a burger place?
No.
No, well, I mean, you gotta get a job.
Yeah, but nope.
I can't see that from over here.
It looks like a boring Fanta.
It kind of is. It's a very 90s Fanta. Can't really make it much bigger than that.
I kind of
That's
remember
what she said.
that. Oh, got him.
Oh god.
Also, so there's something that I noticed. I don't know if you did. There's the scene when Keenan and Kel are talking, and
Which scene? They're talking in a lot of them.
I know they're inside. They're eating food. It's right around where Kel like puts grapes
the
up his
grapes
nose.
Oh, yeah.
Which actually, like, everything, like, Dexter would say something, and then Ed would just, like,
Be weird and
weird.
Yeah.
And it's like, there was,
make any
like,
sense.
that
was his whole thing.
That was his whole thing.
That was the whole character.
And it's, and it's just like...
It's annoying.
Yeah. Anyway, but over Kenan Thompson's shoulder, there's what I thought was a Blockbuster sign, but it doesn't say Blockbuster Video. It looks like it says Blockbuster Pavilion or something like that. Did you notice this?
Nope.
I have no idea, and I meant to look it up.
attention to the movie.
Yeah.
Well, I was so bored that my eyes were just roaming over
I
the
got
screen
distracted
looking for
by the
something.
random sound effects. Like when he takes that first grape out of his nose,
Oh, yeah.
it makes this like squeaky noise and then a pop. I'm just like,
Yeah, there was a lot of that.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's just like it's exactly what I picture a Nickelodeon movie being. And I want to say was this their first movie?
It was their
Yeah,
first time,
their
I
first-
think only.
their first.
I'm sure they made other movies.
No, they made other movies, but it was their first live action, like movie based on, or it was their first movie based on a live action show.
Was this just their first movie? What other movie came before that? What other Nickelodeon
Rugrats,
movie?
maybe. There's like 3 or 4 Rugrats movies.
Yeah, no, but even the first Rugrats movie, I want to say that one came out.
Oh yeah, look, somebody even took what is a Blockbuster Pavilion?
Oh,
Yeah, see, and that's why it was so weird.
that is weird.
I'm gonna click on this and see if there's an answer.
Yeah, I don't know.
Rugrats the movie came out right after.
Okay, so this was the first one. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't. But anyways, it definitely has the feel of everything that I recall.
Harriet the Spy.
Okay.
But that was based on a book that just had Michelle Trachtenberg, who was
No, the first movie that came from Nickelodeon Studios.
Yeah, Nickelodeon Studios.
Oh, I
Was
thought you
in-
meant so. Yeah, because not like movie made from one of their shows.
No.
No,
Yeah,
no.
this is
Yeah.
their first one made from a show.
Yes.
But yeah, Nickelodeon Movies is started in 1996 with Harriet the Spy,
Okay. Yeah, and then this one was the
starring
next one.
Michelle
I know,
Trachtenberg.
who was a huge crush of mine as a kid.
I loved Harriet the Spy. And Rosie O'Donnell was in it. She played her nanny.
I remember wanting to see the film, and then I didn't see the film.
I'm pretty sure I have seen it, but I don't recall it. I just remember Michelle
I remember
Trachtenberg.
I remember the books. I feel like I remember the books and like
Watched
the
it
book.
when it was on Nickelodeon, and then Get a Clue with Lindsay Lohan came out, and I watched that instead. Like it came out later in like 2001, but
Okay.
yeah, well, Get a Clue is kind of like a Harriet the Spy, but older, about this rich girl, and it's got Bug. What's his last name from?
Big Green,
No,
Little Rascals.
Little Rascals.
Yeah, he was also in Big Green.
I don't know what that is.
You don't remember Big? Do you remember Big
The
Green?
soccer movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steve Guttenberg.
The Goots?
Kid,
Come on.
kid from Sandlot, red-haired kid.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. I tried to avoid
It's a Disney
sports
movie.
movies.
It's a Disney
Yeah,
movie.
but it's sports. I feel like that's more of a like a boys like young like it's the way
Yeah.
the Sandlot is. You never seen the Sandlot either, have you?
Vaguely
No.
remember
Yeah.
the
Oh,
Sandlot. I
shit.
remember the big dog.
You know what? That goes on the fucking list right now.
I think it's on the list.
Better be,
It might be on the list.
because that is a movie.
That is a movie. That's a real movie.
That is a real movie. That's a good movie. That one holds up.
Yeah,
I
the
know
Sandlot
it.
is on here. Johnny
Good.
requested it already.
Good.
Yeah,
Good man.
Yeah, well,
Do you think Cal ever got tired of being Ed? Like that seems like it would have been
Definitely.
Oh,
exhausting.
probably.
I think definitely. I mean, yeah, you know,
Especially for a whole movie. Ugh.
it was exhausting to watch.
I can't imagine like being on set with it either.
Something you guys probably didn't notice, but I sure did, was the only time he appears in this movie when they get into the car, like when Keenan gets into the car before, like to leave school. The kid that gets in with him,
Yeah,
the
it's
friend.
Marcus Houston.
Yeah, it's Roger from
Yeah.
Sister. And I was like, oh my God, go home, Roger.
You know, the one thing I thought when
And he did.
the one,
He ran home the
one
only
thing-
time.
when he gets out of the car and is running, I was like, oh my god, somebody's gonna shoot him in the back. I was like, oh my
I got
god, oh my
flashbacks.
god.
It's like this is way darker than I remember. Oh man.
We have another Tower of Terror repeat. The nurse from Demented Hills played the nanny in Tower of Terror. Wendy Worthington?
Oh yeah, that's
yeah.
where I was also vaguely aware for her being like there. Like,
Yeah, she was only there for like
I
a
was-
very, very short
I was
second.
awake enough for that enough to be like, huh?
Yeah, it was like right around the time that Lena Cardellini came.
Yeah, I think
showed up.
You know what bit I remember really laughing at when I was little, and I did not laugh at all. I really didn't laugh at all. Was when they're dressed as women breaking into Mondo Burger and they rip off their clothes. Full. And I mean, it's funny now that I think about it, but I really remember laughing at that when I was little, thinking that was hilarious. That he.
Yeah, well, it's been like so overdone.
I guess so. But I mean, he's like wearing like full lingerie.
Yeah. You're laughing at it now.
I am, but it was not funny. It was not nearly as funny when I was watching it last night.
I'm a dude. She's a dude.
The hit song.
Don't you dare sing that fucking song. Swear to God, I'll fucking karate chop you with your windpipe.
Actually made us.
We're all dudes.
They made a serviceable song out of that.
I actually started like finding myself like listening to it.
I hate every time. I just wanted to fucking strangle. I wanted to strangle him. I hated that.
No, the song at the end, the credits.
I know.
Yeah.
I listened. I was like, I actually let the credits roll. I was like, I
did not.
enjoy
I was
this.
like, oh my God, get this shit off.
I still felt that way, but I was like, this is a serviceable song. I'm also done with this.
No, I did not know.
It was fun, but
No!
I thought it was fun.
It was not fun. It was actually a chore. And it's only an hour and a half.
It was such
It's
a
like the
fucking
shortest
chore.
amount you could make a movie. It's like,
Yeah.
But it still feels so long.
Oh my God.
I don't have like too many fun facts.
Yeah. And the fact that
Obviously.
you could only get this in SD kind of proves how shitty this movie is. It deserves to die with
Slow
DVDs.
and horrible, painful death.
Yes.
Yeah, well, there have been people that have been like requesting them to put it out
Uh-huh.
on Blu-ray with
No.
like a bunch
Bonus
of bonus
features.
features.
I mean, you probably sell it. I mean, it'd probably sell nostalgia again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But
I
mean,
would probably buy it just to have it.
that's you're part of
You have so little space,
yeah.
and you would
The
clog it up
things
with this.
that you you don't make any sense. I'm done trying to figure you out, Amy.
I'm a
You're
collector
an enigma.
of physical film media.
Yeah, as am I.
Wrapped in a riddle.
But
With a chewy enigma center.
here, okay,
Very
I have
enigma.
I have a bunch of fun facts.
All right,
Okay.
let's hear them.
But I'm really only gonna give you guys one because I
Okay.
thought it was the most strange one. In 1998, Dan Schneider had written a script called Good Burger to Go, a sequel to the original film that had Ed and Dexter uncovering a scandal when a British conglomerate buys Good Burger. Paramount had turned down the script for unknown reasons, and Steve Holland was hired to turn the script into a paperback novel.
Yeah, and you know what it ended up being was that they were this British conglomerate was also a barbershop owner,
Quartet?
and they were grinding people up and putting them into the Good Burgers.
No, it's a whole different
really?
movie.
Totally what it was.
God
I
damn
also,
it, Joe.
speaking of the meat, here's another fun fact that I think is kind of funny. Kenan Thompson told this talk show there was virtually 2,000 pounds of meat on the set, some of it being old, and some of the burgers would stay there for a long time, so the extras had to eat them with cold clammy fries, but they looked good on screen.
They did not look
No,
good.
they
to
look
keep
kinda
them
gross.
and to keep them looking good, Elmer's glue was used. And when Kel is scooping ice cream, it's vegetable shortening with food coloring.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah,
fun
another thing.
food
Everything
facts.
related to food in this movie,
It's disgusting.
fucking gross. Like,
Although
But I think that's the truth of working in fast food is that I think it is probably pretty gross when you're in there.
the fries.
I don't know,
looked
man.
good.
I've worked not fast
you
food
worked at a
necessarily.
restaurant,
I've
right?
worked in
Yeah.
restaurants, and I mean, Pizza Hut's like I've worked at Pizza Hut. That's fast food, I would suppose. But I mean, it's not gross like that. That's fucking gross. Like that just makes you like not want to eat any food.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
none.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, again, I feel like that's kind of what that was Nickelodeon
Yeah.
Yeah.
in the 90s.
Yeah.
Like it's what it was.
Well, I
Probably still what
mean,
it is
their
to us.
like hallmark was slime.
yeah, the green slime.
The green slime. Yeah. Chunky slime too. It was really chunky slime.
Was it chunky?
I don't remember it being chunky.
Oh, sometimes it was.
So,
Like the original green slime was really chunky. There's like oatmeal in there. and stuff
any
like that.
last thoughts before we
No,
say if
no
it
last
holds up or
thoughts.
not? Let's just.
I hate you for making us watch this.
Yeah, and me for I guess suggesting it, but I don't remember, so I'm still gonna blame you.
Okay, fine. You blame me for everything anyway. So, does it hold up?
No.
It never. It probably didn't hold up then too. It was not good then, and it's definitely not good now.
Yeah.
I mean, I have on here kind of just for nostalgia's sake, but no, I probably would not watch this again.
Ugh.
Even if I would buy it on Blu-ray.
It's decorative, you know.
Hey,
It's
I mean,
decor.
get that Space Jam, a really weird looking Michael Jordan steelbook.
Yeah, but I feel like Space Jam was better than this.
Yeah.
Oh, Space Jam, of course, is better than
I mean,
this.
I haven't seen it since
I also haven't
had
seen
it on
it.
VHS, but
I have it on VHS. I thought I had it on DVD, but I don't. But I do have it. I technically do have it on DVD now. But anyways,
good for
that
you.
is the end of this podcast. Thank you guys for listening. As always, you can find us on Twitter and Instagram at nostalgitis, nostalgitis. You can let us know your thoughts and your feelings, rate and review us on iTunes. Or you can email us at nostalgiaeffectpod@gmail.com. Tell us movies you want to hear us talk about.
Please make them good ones, please.
Yay!
Well, thank you guys. Don't forget to be kind and rewind.